Hi, I'm Deb, and welcome to my channel. It's Frugal Handcrafting, and we're all about handcrafting and getting some good deals. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some inspiration I got. Sometimes I don't know where my projects are going, and I went to the church tag sale. They had a nice selection of lots of different things, not much in the craft section, but enough that you could find something you were looking for. I found some fabric there, and I've kind of decided I'm going to do a sewing project. So I want to show you the fabric that has become my inspiration. Now, keep in mind, I paid $1 for 2 yards of pink fabric, a nice liner fabric for totes, or could make doll dresses out of it, anything like that. The tiny prints really lend themselves well to some of the projects that I like to do. So here are some of the fabrics that I got, and I just think they're absolutely adorable. These are layer cakes, and there were 12 squares in here. Such a beautiful combination that it really inspired me to want to do something and not necessarily make a doll's dress out of one, because they do, they're nice and small pieces. I could definitely get something out of that for sure. But these really wanted to be quilted. I could just picture that, making something quilted. But I actually am not using this for the quilting project that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually inspired by this, but let's put that aside, and I'll just tell you a little bit about, I went into my stash, but part of the project is going to include an old pair of jeans. I've decided that I'm using that. I've used that for tote bags before and purses, and it really is nice and strong. And I'm also going to be using some of this. It's, you get it when you buy, any kind of quilt or pillows sometimes, anything like that, and this has the brand name on it, which I didn't really want to see the brand name, so I'll probably be, folding it and using it somehow like that, or possibly using it doubled over. But it's nice grosgrain ribbon, and I do save this anytime I find it, and it's unbelievable, you do find it quite often. So that's my inspiration. I am going to be making something out of my stash. I've gone into my stash and I found some matching prints that are going to look really great together. I was really looking for something to make for a housewarming gift for a friend. So what I was thinking was, she's got a nice yard with lots of plants, of maybe making some kind of tote bag with some things in it for her gardening. So I've decided that this fabric is just too light and thin for doing that kind of a project. So it would have been okay on the outside. It's just not really what I wanted, but I found something in my stash that's going to work great. So I'm going to use that along with the denim. And my attempt this time is to try and make the denim for the lining. I've made the denim on the outside of a bag before, but never on the inside of the bag. So it's nice and sturdy. So I'm thinking that's going to help make a sturdy bag that will sit up a little bit. So that's my goal, is to do that. And I'm hoping that you guys will come along on the journey for me. I'm going to kind of do this as I go, because I've made a number of bags before, and there's 100 different ways to make bags. Everybody makes them differently, but the process is basically the same. So it just, sometimes it's more about the order that you do them in. So I'm going to attempt this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it'll come out, if it comes out the way I'm thinking, it's going to be really cute, and it's going to make a great gift. And it's going to cost me, at this point, I'm not using anything that I'm purchasing. So we'll see if I don't have to spend any money on the bag, just use from what I have. So that'll be, here I'm working on the paper pattern. I made it out of tissue paper, and I have the measurements marked here, and I'll put them down below. It's 14 inches across, wide, and then 9.5 inches on this side up to here. You got 3 inches, that's going to be your box bottom. And then the same over here. It's a mirror image of each other. So that's where we're at for our carry bag. And I will cut this out on interfacing. It's kind of a heavier weight interfacing. It's not fusible, but I do have some temporary spray that I will probably use. I have all my 5-inch squares laid out, and now I'm just starting to pin them so I can bring them to the machine and just sew 1/4 of an inch, and then I'll have my rows together so I won't mix it up as I bring it over. And then I will sew these 2 rows together. Using my presser foot as my guide for my 1/4 of an inch seam. I'm pressing these seams nice and flat on both sides. Making sure that they're laying nicely. And then I will be putting these 2 pieces will be seamed together. And I'll pin those and take those to the machine. You can see that I pinned mine really well. I pinned the seams first to hold those so they'll be nice and straight. And then I pinned quite a few places along the way just to hold my work nice and firm. And then I'm gonna again follow that 1/4 inch spot on my foot. Make sure to remove the pins, and I'm going to sew across. Okay, here I have my 2 panels, my front of the bag and my back of the bag panel. And I kind of put them together so that they are the same configuration on each one. So I look for this one. This is going to be the top of the back of the bag, and this one